One day I'll remember. Remember everything that happened. The good, the bad. Those who survived, and those that did not.
Home is behind, the world ahead, and there are many paths to tread, through shadow to the edge of night, until the stars are aligned. Mist and shadow, cloud and shade.
Will you have peace or war?
All shall fade.
I will have war.
Fate.
Will you follow me? One last time.
And Nori will be king. In my vision.
So, Jed and Adam, is that kind of cool? Like, there's this big movie that you're in, and I mean, that's got to be a pretty crazy experience to see that trailer and not yet have seen the finished product. And what is that like?
Yeah, it's always, I mean, you know, we see it literally a day before the rest of the world sees it. And I don't know about you, Adam, but I know with the world premiere of the first film, I was so nervous. And someone said, why? And I said, because I'm not sure if I'm still in it. You know? That is the worst fear as an actor when you go along to a premiere of something and you got yourself all G'd up and you're in this expensive suit and you're not in it. You know, because everybody when you come out goes, oh, what a shame. Great movie, but you're not there. But yeah, it's an amazing thing, and you know, it's just as hard for us waiting as it is for you. It's been a long time filming it, and then we have this kind of 6-month hiatus between finishing filming and actually seeing it. So it's a difficult thing, but it is exciting. I would be a total geek and fan of these movies if I hadn't been in them anyway. You know, I would be the first person in line trying to get a ticket. So the fact that I don't have to line up to get a ticket is the major bonus. Go along for free as many times as I want.
So,
yeah.
It's in his contract. He gets to see the movie.
One free ticket.
Yeah, one free ticket.
It's kind of weird. The first movie, I was like Jed. I was petrified. I'd arrived in New Zealand a bit earlier than most of the cast because I had some friends in Auckland and I wanted to spend some time with them. And I drove down to Wellington and was in the hotel. And then some of the other actors arrived slowly. So Martin was there, and Ian wasn't there, of course. No, Martin and Richard. And Pete was showing them the movie. This was maybe 4 days before the premiere. And I got a phone call from Martin saying, Adam, come along, we're going to see the film tonight. And I went, I can't see it. He was like, what? Why are you not seeing it? Come watch it with me. I was like, no. If I'm going to watch it, I've got to watch it with the boys. I've got to watch it with all the dwarfs. And so he'd seen it, and then I'd waited about 3 days for the boys to arrive. And then we all went there the day before the premiere and sat in Pete's cinema. Just the dwarfs. And we're all next to each other going, here we go, lads! And yeah, we watched it together, and that was probably one of the most special moments. That was really cool.
It's pretty awesome. Thank you very much. Yes.
No, this is very quick. The second film, Two Towers, I hadn't seen it, so it had been opened, and I'd been working somewhere, and so I hadn't gone to any of the screenings of it. And it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, and a friend was saying, "Have you seen it yet?" I went, "No. Do you want to see it?" "Oh, I don't know." And so they went, "Oh, look, let's just go into town. We'll go watch it." So it was like, "Oh, right, fine." So we went in, and we're sitting down in it, and it starts, and I sort of watching, and then turn up on screen, and I kind of hear. This is back in New Zealand where I'd done a few things on telly, so people sort of going, "Oh, this thing." And then I heard sort of, "What's he just watching himself?" Oh, that's sad. And there was this sort of like muttering coming around, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh God, it looks like I'm like, yes, I'm just watching that." And I just went, oh, this is why you go to the pre-screening, really. Because you just look like some sad loser. Yes, it's me!
When my son played Eldarion in the third film, The Return of the King, he played Aragorn and Arwen's future prince son. And he didn't get to come to the premiere because he was deemed to be too young, he was only 6 years old. He did get to ride in the car with Viggo, but we went to the cast and crew screening. And he was so sweet because he kept jumping up going, "My bit is coming soon. And I am so beautiful you will cry." And he turned to me and go, "Is it my bit yet?" And then he'd say, "It's my bit soon, apparently 10 minutes. Boy.
Adam, you said something really interesting. Anybody could say this. I would never dare bring it up, but you said Peter Jackson's cinema. I don't think very many people know about that or what that is. I would love it if any of the 4 of you would explain to the audience what that actually is.
He actually has 2 cinemas. Both of them are in Miramar, and then he has one in his house, so he has 3 cinemas. Probably got 4. just one for luck. But he has a cinema that was built so that he could watch the rushes. And back when he was shooting on Super 35 for Lord of the Rings, it was important for him to be able to see it on a screen that everybody was going to see it on, so that he could make decisions about the scale and how it was going to look and the rhythm. And so he has the biggest TV in his editing suite in the world. It's as big as his room. But yeah, he has a special cinema that was built at Park Road Post as well, which is where we watched it, and it's got 3D projectors and everything. So, and he has movies every Sunday for the cast and crew, and sometimes we watch movies before they've been released in the rest of the world. In fact, while we were shooting Lord of the Rings, we got to see GoldenEye before it was released to the public. Mr. Zemeckis sent him a copy of it, and we get to see films before the rest of the general public get to see it, and he does that for his crew to kind of keep them happy because they work so hard. So there,
Thank you. I know, audience, you have questions. We got one other thing we really need to talk about. 2 things, actually. This guy in the green shirt is Dan, and he's filming for the Tolkien track. So if Dan gets close to the stage and walks around, it's okay. So Dan, you're free reign. Do what you got to do. Second thing, Billy, we heard you sing. We just saw the trailer. Amazing song. Jed was touched. It was a moment. But let's talk about that song during filming. Like, when did they come to you? How did they present it? And did you have any idea how it was going to work in the film?
No, it was. It all started with karaoke, as most good stories do. We were out having a night out at dinner, and we went to a karaoke bar, which we never did, and I sang some Tom Jones, Delilah, I think it was, and Philippa.
Would have been a good choice for
Wasn't it? I know. So that was the first choice. They couldn't get the rights. So Philippa was there, one of the writers, and I think there had been talk of it'd be great to get some more song and some more poetry into the movies, just to make it a bit more like the books, you know, Tolkien. But there's not a lot of time, even though they're long movies, you know, they're big books. So they said, look, we'd love to have a song when you're with Denethor. He said, would you be willing to sing it? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. And I think the idea, as I remember it, I'm sure, Howard Shore was supposed to write something. And it'd have been amazing, of course. But they changed the filming schedule, and they were filming it in like 2 days. So there was no time. Howard's in LA or wherever he was, New York. And they said, could you write something? And I said, yeah, I'll have a go if you want. So I wrote a couple of melodies actually. And I went to Pete's house where Pete, Fran and Philippa were, and I sang them, and everyone agreed on that song. And then the next day we filmed it, and it kind of happened that fast. Wow. And one of the guys, I remember, on set, so the set was this beautiful Minas Tirith, room, and it was actually quite emotional and quite scary to sit and sing to this king in this room that was as big as this, But one of the guys on camera, who was a new guy who I didn't really know, had studied medieval music. And, I haven't, but apparently I'd written it in some sort of medieval way, just trying to be in that world. I'd accidentally written it in the right sort of... And he went home and got a medieval flute, which he brought back, and he was playing it at lunchtime. By the time lunch came, he'd already learnt it and was playing it at lunch. And yeah. And then, but then once we get the movie together and we go to rushes and everything, there's too much noise. It didn't sound right, because of the size of the room, and there was probably a wind machine in there. So we had to re-record it, but exactly the same song. But I got to re-record it in Abbey Road Studios. And I'm a huge Beatles fan. So I was in Abbey Road playing, Dom came with me, just because he loves the Beatles. And we were in Abbey Road, playing the Beatles piano and all that. It was amazing. It was, there was a few moments in the movies where everything happened fast, but just right and just organic, and that was one of them. There wasn't too much overthinking. It was like, let's just write a song. I wanted to write a song that I felt that Pippin would have heard from his grandfather, and his grandfather would have heard from his grandfather, and it had been sang at kind of took parties, So that's what I kind of came up with, And I'm just so glad that it's part of those films,
When we shot the day where we sang Misty Mountains, half of us were meant to hum. We decided that some of us would just hum and not sing. But when we actually came to film it on the day, everybody sang. And I think there was just that idea that no one wanted to be the one with their mouth not moving, just going, and it happened spontaneously. I think they used probably the first or the second take of that song, and it was like that. It happened really quickly, and it was just spontaneous, and it was absolutely perfect for the film, I think.
It's like the scene as well, where Gandalf tells Pippin about death. That was written the night before.
Wow.
And it was just this, I remember getting it, and I was actually in tears reading it, It's just like a one-page scene, but it just happened very late and very quickly, and those moments are great, I think.
So, Dragon Con officials, it would be really epic next year to bring 8 or 9 or 10 dwarfs and put them on the stage. And they would then sing the Misty Mountain song in a big group, and it would be like, epic Dragon Con to a new level of epic. So, everybody...
And all the hobbits!
And all the hobbits.
And all the elves.
And all the elves.
From the battle scene.
No. We're busy. So you and the audience can help make that happen by writing very polite letters to Dragon Con and say, hey, that'd be cool. All right, I know whoever's over here is